Hello, my name is Matthias Cavodi. Welcome guys to my channel. Today we're going to talk about the Avengers tie-in issues to the War of the Realms crossover. So we're going to cover Avengers issues 18 to 21. Actually 20. 21 is like the aftermath. And cool thing about the War of the Realms crossover is that now that I've read all the tie-ins and the main story, you have to read the War of the Realm, the main issues and the lead up in Thor and the Thor tie-ins, and with that you understand the plot, you understand the villain's motivations, the growth of Thor during this whole story. Good, I do recommend it. What happens in these Avengers issues, each issue is like a standalone story, focuses on one on the Squadron Supreme, another one on Gorilla Man, and another one on She-Hulk. The She-Hulk issue is actually the best one. I really like that one. Because up until this moment, this is part of the Jason Aaron era of the Avengers. I got it when it first came out, and I just really didn't like it. I loved Jason Aaron. I loved his work on Thor. I loved his work on Wolverine and the X-Men. But for some reason, his work on the Avengers just didn't work for me. So we get into issue number 18. We have the Squadron Supreme. Like, I was just jumping in. I had no idea what was going on in the Avengers series. So I have no idea where these members of the Squadron Supreme come from. They do not seem to be the classic Squadron Supreme coming from another dimension. To be all new characters. They're tied to this Phil Coulson he's come back from the dead. He's sort of evil. He's making deals with Mephisto. Mephisto's behind all these characters. And that these guys are like the antagonists to the Avengers. They don't want the Avengers operating in the United States. They want to be the main superhero team operating on US soil. Everything's sort of like jacked up and wrong about them. So here we have the Squadron Supreme, which I love all these characters, even though they're not seem to be the original recipe. Power Princess, Hyperion, Nighthawk, Dr. Spectrum. They start fighting against these frost giants, and I just really like the detail. Like, they really show off how each of one of these guys is like powerful. They're very capable with their powers or with their skills, so they're able to deal with the frost giants. And the really awesome thing, the nice detail, is that the frost giants are sort of on the run. Like, they don't want to deal with the Squadron Supreme anymore, so they cross into Canada. And since Squadron Supreme are like a US team, it's like once they cross into Canada, it's like not our problem, and they push them over the border. The problems ends there. Like total assholes. It's pretty priceless. With total disregard if any lives are in stake. Once they get into Canadian territory, it's like, okay, we did a great job. So here we have the whole setup with Phil Coulson and Mephisto. And this situation leaves me pretty interested into dipping back and getting more Avengers issues from this time, see if the whole thing with the Squadron Supreme was good or not with the Avengers. So the second issue that we're going to cover, Avengers issue 19, we have Gorilla Man. Dude used to run around with the Agents of Atlas. Now he's on a team of Agents of Wakanda. So reading this, it was the first time I actually discovered about the Agents of Wakanda. So I was like, wow, that's really interesting. We have Kazar on that team. And something happened with Gorilla Man and Dracula. So he's a Gorilla Man with vampire powers. It's not really clear what's the situation. So I'm not going to go back and read the Dracula stuff, because for some reason I hate Dracula when he pops up in comic books. Dracula, Frankenstein, the werewolf, mummy, for some reason they pop up in a story and this just totally turns me off. Like, I'll skip that story. I like Dracula in a story arc was in the Mutant X series. That they did a really good job there. So the thing is, Gorilla Man, even though he's working with Black Panther in Wakanda as the agent of Wakanda, he's sort of under the control of Dracula and serving Dracula's interests. So while the whole War of the Realms going on, like, he's doing some shenanigans, impact the Avengers further down the line. But the issue I really wanted to focus on is the She-Hulk one. This one's really good because back when Jason Aaron took control of the Avengers series, She-Hulk, sorry, there's an airliner flying over my house. She-Hulk becomes like the more savage Hulk, bigger, buffer, and stupider. just like the male Hulk. And I just really didn't like the idea. It was like just felt like the Bruce Banner Hulk, the gender swapped Hulk. I really liked the She-Hulk, the classic She-Hulk. She was different to her to, I was gonna say brother, no, cousin. And here we get to see like the inner conflict within Jen Walters. Is that her name? Am I totally screwing up there? Put it in the comments below. But outside of that, this conflict within her of having to deal with that she's this ugly brute to the beautiful She-Hulk, like in relative, from a relative perspective, and having to deal that she's stupid when she's in her Hulk form and she does lose control, and this whole inner conflict of letting this Hulk loose, and if it's a danger or a liability to everyone around her. Really well written. I think Jason Aaron does a killer job in showing off this internal conflict. You know, another thing, like Blade is a really cool character, and in Jason Aaron's run, it just really didn't work for me. Blade on an Avengers team, he would work on like a secret Avengers lineup or a Savage Avengers, but he just feels really out of place on an Avengers lineup. I don't know why. It's a personal thing. Like a character that operates out in the open, like he's a dude works more in the shadows, maybe like more of a spy oriented title focused on Shield or something like that. He's been on other Avengers lineup in the Mighty Avengers, and in issue 21 and we have to deal with the aftermath of everything that went down during the War of the Realms. And I love this confrontation that we have between Black Panther and Agent Coulson. Now, during this time, Black Panther seems to be the leader of the Avengers. I really like the idea. Panther as a character has tons of potential of taking stories in so many interesting directions. He's just a fantastic character in general. So I'm gonna leave it here. It was interesting to jump in and check out the Avengers, especially with a run that I just didn't like, but I just wanted to give Jason Aaron a chance. I'm going to dip back in, see if I like it, this particular series. So I hope you guys liked it. See you guys next time. Bye.